January 19th. I appreciate you coming. What I'm going to go off camera. What I'm presenting right now is, what we talked about last week. Actually, last week was pretty short. We were hoping to bring service tunnel private link questions if the community had any. We didn't really have PRs to cover last time, so we ended pretty early, like within 7 minutes. So that's what happened last week. So wanted to open it up for today. And Chris, you mentioned you had a PR that you wanted to bring up? Now that everyone's here.
Yeah, I just did a nominal PR to change the hyperlinks from the old GitHub site to the new one.
Okay, thank you. So Joe, we were talking about that in the community call, but we can talk about it here too in behavioral model.
That's PR 321.
Okay, I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Morning. Good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning.
Good afternoon, good evening.
That Hanif. Sorry,
Hey.
I'm managing multiple windows. There we go. Yep, everyone's here. Yeah, hi. We're just looking at Chris went ahead and contributed 321 here just to change our links for us. So appreciate that, Chris.
A one-line Linux script magic.
Awesome. So I'll go ahead and do the squash and merge then today, if that works for everyone.
If anyone has any other global replaces they need to do, you can see the script. I put it in the comments. Pretty standard Linux stuff, but if someone's not fresh on regular expressions, you can use that as a model.
Awesome, thank you. And did anyone else have PR or conversation they wanted to cover in behavioral model today?
I don't have anything new. However, I am updating my pull request for service tunnel according to the changes in design that Prince made. So next week I will provide an update on that.
Is that 308?
Yep.
Okay. I'll just make a note on that. Number 308 next week. Thanks, Marian. Let's see if we have any other the test cases. Okay. Okay. Anyone else while we're on the call? Behavioral model Q&A or PRs you want to talk about? James, did you have a PR you were covering or an issue in behavioral model that you were working on? James Lowe. Okay, maybe he can't hear. I think we had the underlay routing to.
Can you hear me?
Oh, hey, hi, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm still working on this one. It's not that simple, you know.
Okay.
Right.
It's good. Thanks for doing that.
Right, for the underlay, I'm thinking about adding a very simple like ARP, you know, underneath, and that's for the data plane, and for the control plane, I'm looking at this one too. So it takes some time.
I had a question for Marian. Are we still moving forward on stateful processing in the BMV2? Is there any movement there?
Not at the moment. So first I'm working on the service tunnel. Second, I will need to, I'm not sure if I published the pull request change to the way we generate SCI APIs. If you remember, instead of doing all of the heuristics, just have annotations. So this is in my pipeline, and then I'll get back to do the flow tracking.
Okay, thanks for the update.
Was that one of these, Chris, here that I needed to update? Or just a general?
I'm trying to find out where it is, but it's
Okay.
an old issue, so it's got to be somehow expressed here.
Okay, all right, all right.
Yeah, but I think in general, do we have all the BMB2
Stateful.
related?
Yeah, that's it.
Got it. Go ahead, Hanif, while I make this update. I'm sorry.
Sure. Yeah, so on this topic, do we have all the BMB2 related tasks identified that we need to do, or at least, whatever we can foresee as of now, and then that are related with the BMB2 or changes into the P4C compiler. If we do, I think we should list them out so that perhaps some other community member can jump in and contribute to it, because otherwise then Marian becomes probably just the one person who gets bottlenecked into this thing, right? So, and then we can probably make some more progress in that area. So I'm not sure whether we have captured everything that we have discussed in the past vis-a-vis BMB2 and P4C compiler.
So didn't we talk yesterday that we have the compiler, and Chris, you had posted the link?
I'm not sure.
No, that was a Psi auto generation
Yeah.
.py thing.
Okay,
It's not the P4 compiler, so
Right.
okay,
That's
okay. Sorry, I'm just looking for the compiler one in here while we talk. So connection tracking, I know it was, I thought before runtime layer. So we have, I thought the compiler was done.
No, that's Marian's been working on that in the background too, where we build the BMB2, or sorry, the P4C compiler from scratch with the stateful additions instead of just pulling a pre-built compiler from Docker Hub.
Also, the P4 compiler should have the constructs implemented for add-on miss in the standard at this point. I can double check and get back on that or follow up.
Oh yeah, that would be useful.
Reshma, is that from like the ongoing P&A work?
Yeah, ongoing P4 line PMA work. James Lowe from HCore, we have exchanged some emails, so please let us know from your item here if there is anything we can collaborate on, and we can co-design, co-develop.
So should we add an extra item here for the P4C compiler and then list items to work on, Marian?
Are you
Or
on mute?
anyone, sorry.
I thought that's what I heard, but
P4C is its own deliverable. Yeah, it's a prerequisite to do this project, but it's definitely a deliverable. P4C with, stateful additions, I guess.
And it's being worked on now in the background?
My understanding is Marian's been working on it off and on for quite some time. I know there's work in progress.
Okay.
Yeah, there is an old pull request that I need to update. Compiler is ready. It's just It just needs to be, the Docker for the compiler needs to be integrated.
249. I think it's pull request 249.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, we can also, as Reshma mentioned, if it is implemented in the vanilla before C, we can take that one. It doesn't really affect pull request that much. It's different URL. So whatever.
Okay, here.
But
So
the main bulk of work is to just integrate a new Docker. Actually, it's not the compiler anymore.
let me open this up so people can see a little bit more. New BME. Okay. So this is the one then?
Yeah, it needs to be kind of updated to the latest, an enhanced Docker build system that Gone contributed to. There's probably some other refreshes needed.
What other refreshes are needed?
I don't know. I'm just saying it probably needs a fresh look because it's been a while.
Okay.
It's aged like a fine wine.
Okay. Okay.
What's the latest Docker that Guhan has provided?
No, Gohan helped change the Docker build system a little bit, and some before the year, late last year, and to use SHA for codes for the tags.
Okay.
And I think even this was started before I did an overhaul where we used environment files, etc. So it just needs like a refresh.
And can anyone work on this, or does it need to be specifically one person?
I think in
So
a
what's the
nutshell,
question?
in a nutshell, I believe it's like, instead of getting it from the vanilla P4C compiler from, let's say, Docker Hub registry, we just basically build and put this one onto our ACR registry and pull it from there. Is that
ultimately, yeah. Ultimately, yeah. But the building thereof, it's like this required quite a bit of finesse to even put this PR together. So I don't think anyone can just pick it up unless they work with Marian, right? It's work in progress. It just needs to be finalized.
So must work with Marian. Okay.
I mean, once the PR is in surgery, it's kind of on that person's operating table, so to speak.
Yeah, that makes sense, Chris. Okay.
And we can probably capture this one as one of the items, right, in the tasks, so that somebody can be assigned. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can link.
PR.
Yeah, I can link 249 to this. No problem. So I'll do that after the call.
Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. Okay. All right. Anyone else have something to cover, Q&A, anything like that today? Okay.
How much analysis has people been doing on the new services? Like, do people really understand it, or are they just quiet?
We'll need to investigate it a little bit more, and probably we'll have some more questions and details next week. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so like in the documentation that Prince contributed to the Sonic HLD with service tunnel, private link, all that.
I think we need some like instead of asking, is there any questions, we need to have a show of hands. Who really understands it and doesn't have questions? I think there's just some people just being quiet. But we need the feedback so that people implement it properly.
Yeah, I had some questions that I posted on to the PR itself. I probably, I'm not sure Prince has not gotten a chance to answer it, but I think I'm not sure if others have the similar kind of questions.
I think I saw some. I think I saw some answers to those questions. This one here, Hanif?
Yeah, this is the one that I still believe it's still unanswered. Sure others will have similar kind of questions also. Yeah.
Inbound processing doesn't answer I was looking for. In order to determine packet direction, we look at VNI. If we're using NVGRE, then the key is used to determine. Yeah, the key, I thought we used the key to determine direction. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think as we discussed, I guess some clarification is good. See, the idea here is that so far, even in our schema or all the all the behavior model and so forth, we have all along been talking about VXLAN, and as such, we have defined VNIs as means for us to really determine whether or not what's the packet direction is, whether it's inbound or outbound. Now, what happens is that now we are basically talking about NVGRE, and these are the things that we are using as even explaining service tunnel and private link. And with that, I guess it'll be good to really clarify that, hey, the schema might change. Instead of VNI, we might have a key, and then the key value will determine in terms of whether or not it's a inbound packet from VM, inbound packet from network, or it's an outbound coming in from the VM. So those are the kind of thing I guess we can probably.
But you don't get the you don't get the outbound packet with service tunnel encapsulation. Service tunnel, the DPU is the gateway to service tunnel. So when the packet comes from VM, it comes still in the VXLAN encapsulation with the same reserved VNI for the outbound.
That's what I thought. Because the NVGRE is implemented in the storage endpoint, but the VMs would still carry, VXLAN, so the outbound would remain the same. And in that regard, then the VNI direction would come from the VM's information that we have, and we still have each DPU will have the authority to process only certain number of VNIs that belong to those VMs, etc.
Okay, yeah, so that explains that, okay, we'll continue to use the VXLAN for the outbound part, but for the inbound, if you're defining as NVGRE or GRE, and then as such, we just basically put some description in there that this is how we're going to really determine this is an inbound packet, and the key will really determine to say that it is an inbound, and then the inner MAC will basically say, okay, what's the ENI it is, and so forth, right? So those are the kind of things that I guess we just need to really spell it out in our documentation.
Maybe we need a meeting with Prince, Kristina, so we can hash that out. They're good questions.
Yeah.
And you can submit the questions, but I think the question's been sent, but it sounds like more like a whiteboard discussion that could be resolved quicker.
Okay, sure. And I did just ping him to join it. He must be on DRI or something like that. So you're saying, in this documentation here, it's not clear in this piece. And we need a session from Prince on this possibly.
I'm not really looking for probably a session. Perhaps you can
Mhm.
just, answer
Respond
it in there,
in the
yeah,
PR.
in the PR itself,
Mhm, mhm.
and then just go ahead and, update the either the packet transforms or the sonic dash HLD. So
Mhm,
that would
mhm.
suffice in my view.
Okay. Okay, I'll make a note to do a quick ping into that PR, gentle ping in PR. Talk to Prince. I can do that. And perhaps he'll join after a few minutes too. So got it. And then VJ had said, since mapping is packet destinations, we use the same mapping entry with other. Is this a valid case for private link as well? And so another question here. Okay. I'll try and follow up, guys, on that. Okay. Good question. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. And so maybe next week, do we want to take 15, 20 minutes and cover service tunnel private link again? Team?
I think just to make sure
Probably
that the
go over
questions
the
have been
behavioral
answered,
model.
right?
I'm sorry, Marian, what?
Yeah, I'm saying go over the behavioral model. Maybe that will explain more things.
You want to do that today or next week?
No, next week I'm still working on.
Oh, yeah, okay. Go over BNB. Where's TPL next week? Okay, thanks, Marian. All right. Anything else for today, guys? So here's what I have for this week, and I can give time back if you like. Anything else from you, Gerald?
No.
No? Okay. All right, I'll go ahead and stop the recording, and I'll talk to you all next week. I'll post it this Friday like normal. And I'll follow up on that PR for you guys, Hanif and VJ.
Sounds good. Hey, thanks a lot, Kristina.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
all right.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Talk to you guys later. Thanks. And thanks for doing that PR, Chris.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.